The UK is a top destination for international study. With highly ranked universities that are competitive globally, it is no wonder that a lot of people from all over the world want to study in the UK. But what is the value really of a master's degree in the UK, and what is the experience like for international students? In this video, my colleague and I talk about our experiences studying for our masters in the UK and provide real stories about our experiences. So join us! Hello, you're welcome to my channel. My name is Ayodeji Matuluko and I'm a PhD student in Glasgow, Scotland. So obviously today I'm not alone. I'm with somebody here who is also a PhD student, so a senior colleague, a year ahead of me in the PhD journey. So obviously we're both international students in the UK, so I'll allow our guest to introduce himself.
Hello, my name is Andrew Kalule. I'm from Uganda. I'm a PhD student. What should I say? I'm in my 5th year now. Coming towards the end of it is just the last lap, but I recently also got a job with NHS at the beginning of this year, so I'm now a full-time employee at the NHS as well as a part-time PhD student now.
Yeah, congrats again.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it's cold today and we're recording this video outside. For today's video, I thought it would be nice for us to discuss our experiences as international students in the UK. So Andrew and I, we did our masters here in the UK. So Andrew has an MPH and I have an MSc in clinical pharmacy. So we'll just discuss about our experiences studying in the UK, doing our masters, and then at our different universities, and then compare to doing our PhD now at GCU. Oh, I didn't mention we're both GCU students. So yeah, so at Glasgow Caledonian University, PhD students. Let me ask you, Andrew, so why did you decide to do your masters in the UK? Why did you choose the UK?
That's quite interesting because luckily, I did my masters just immediately after my bachelor's. So I did a bachelor's of food science and technology in Uganda. So after that, I wanted something different, something that's away from food science, a bit the food science industry is a bit not well developed in where I come from. So I thought I should branch out to something that and everyone at that time wants to work with NGOs and international organizations. So I thought I needed something like that. So that's how I looked at public health, and I started looking around for different universities, different scholarships. Of course, getting an education in the UK is not cheap. So I started looking around for different scholarships. Then I came across the Commonwealth shared scholarships, and I applied to different unis. I applied to So for a long time I got rejections, lots of rejections. So I graduated at the beginning of the year in January. So I got lots of rejections along the way. And I had given up, but then I think July, I decided to check my email, I'm like, I might as well just check my email. And I had the, what do they call them, the love emails with congratulations, you've been successful. And of course I was elated, I was happy, and of course went through the usual filling the medical forms, some forms to sign, and for that scholarship I had to sort of pay £2,000 as a commitment fee. Okay. So that £2,000 was later refunded, but at that time you had to pay to the university as a commitment, and so that they could also give you the cash. Okay. But that was later refunded once I started. I started school. So I got a scholarship at Bournemouth University. At the time, they were offering only one scholarship on the Commonwealth scheme, and I was the student. So I was quite lucky, I must say. So yeah, that's how I came to do my masters. Okay. I had tried looking at the US, but with the US, especially if you're going to public health or a science-based sort of postgrad, you have to do these GREs. And oh my gosh, they're so difficult, lots of prep, there's quite a lot that goes into that. So I wanted to do them. I tried to sign up for them, but then along the way, that's when I got the news that I'd got a scholarship to go to Bournemouth, and that's how I went to Bournemouth University.
What year was that?
I completed 2013, yeah, I think, yeah.
That's almost 10 years ago.
It's been a while now. Yeah, but I mean, I was fresh from my undergrad straight into masters. So,
yeah.
I chose the UK because, the UK is because we are from Commonwealth countries, so it's a bit similar to back home. The system is a bit similar.
Yeah.
You speak English, it's
exactly.
easier to fit in. See, like with the US, there's a lot of adjustment that has to happen for you to. Education system is a bit different,
Yeah.
from the UK, But here it's easy to fit in, and here you can get an admission straight to uni or masters. But in the US or Canada, sometimes they will tell you to do some prerequisite, some sort of foundation, whatever, some sort of, while here you can just get straight into, like I gave an example, they wanted in the US, they wanted me to do GREs, but here you just get admission straight into
because a lot of our degrees are structured just like the UK degrees, undergraduates are. Our educational system is just structured the same.
And also I've seen there are probably more scholarship opportunities in the UK than the US. Anyway, from my experience.
Yes. For masters.
Yeah, there are more, Commonwealth scholarships, Chevening scholarships. Westminster has Westminster, I think it's the international scholarship at Westminster, University of Westminster. There are quite a number of them. Compared to the US, they have, I think, some scholarships, but might be dependent on every university. Or you must be a great sportsperson, or have talent. But
I think they give them like teaching assistantships.
Yeah, maybe teaching assistantships.
For that, so it's almost like a scholarship. Yeah. For me, I went to UCL for my masters, and I was looking at rankings, so it was mostly rankings that influenced my choice, and then obviously the course I wanted to do masters in clinical pharmacy, international practice and policy. UCL was still highly ranked for pharmacy. I was self-sponsored, so I'd always been interested in the UK. I don't know why. I really wasn't even looking elsewhere, to be honest, because I guess because because I have family here and I'd been here before on holiday, and I just like the whole UK vibe and everything. So, and obviously I wanted to also study abroad after my undergrad. So I think that was my main reason, basically.
One other thing is that for me, I was just looking for scholarship, whatever university. And my advice is, when you're looking for scholarships, especially like Commonwealth scholarship, it's good to try the better known universities, but they're quite competitive.
Yeah.
So you might as well try the little known universities, as long as they're offering that scheme,
Yeah.
I mean, being educated in the UK is being educated in the UK.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter,
Yeah. So how did you find the program? Like, when you leave, I don't know how it is for you, but when you leave Nigeria, for me, when you come into the UK and you're studying a postgraduate, it can be very daunting in the beginning, trying to, merge into a new educational system and understand the way things are done, and just basically battling with the coursework, everything. So how did you find it? Was there any struggle or?
I mean, definitely there's quite a bit of struggle. You see back home, especially undergrad, there's a lot of copy and pasting. There's a lot of, some things, like, for example, assignments, we don't take them that serious. You can probably do your assignment the last 2 days to deadline, but and then there's a lot of classroom sessions. Back home, you're going to have a lecturer, delivering material and giving you material, photocopy or whatever. But then here, when I came, it was different, They expect you to do everything on your own. Self-directed learning, They will, of course, one thing is, when I walked into my first lecture, they told us that no exams, I was like, oh my gosh, that's the best thing, But no exams doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing. Because you have to do assignments for every module, and these are heavy assignments, like 20-30 pages for every assignment. And tight deadlines as well. So you might have like 3 assignments at the same time, you know. And of course, they might have different deadlines, but the deadlines won't be far away from each other. So you have to sort of balance between these assignments, and then it's more than just copying and pasting. You have to read papers, you have to, you know, plagiarism. Of course, is a big thing here. So you can't, once they notice that you plagiarize anything, that's a big, you know, a big issue. So you have that's I think one of the biggest things is to switch from that sort of where lecturers didn't mind a lot to this system where you don't plagiarize anything, you don't copy and paste anything, you know, you have to read, you know. And I think that in itself, I think, is a better way to learn. To be honest, I retain more things when I was doing assignments like that than when I was just doing an exam, because exams,
you're pushing yourself and you're looking for information.
You're looking for
stays with you.
You're synthesizing information, so you make sense out of it, and then you're not reading like under pressure to retain things in your head.
So you develop your critical thinking skills. So
you sort of learn how to you some of these things stay with you, you know, for a long time. And that was the biggest thing. There's an experience I had, so I thought I would go to my lecturer to give me, you know, at the end of the module, they're telling you, okay, these are the assignment guidelines, you have to write about this and that. So I thought, I'm struggling with the topic, let me go to my supervisor, to my lecturer, thinking that they're going to like pinpoint for me exactly what to do. I mean, all they give you is vague advice. You know?
They want you to go and find the information by yourself.
Exactly.
By yourself.
At the end of the day, it's go and read, go and get what you're interested in, find out how to go about it. The assignment guidelines are there, and then I think that's one of the biggest differences between where I came from and here.
Yeah, for me it was a very similar experience. I always say to myself, well, apart from the PhD, that was one of the toughest periods of my life, because coming from Nigeria, studying pharmacy, and then coming to the UK to study clinical pharmacy. So first of all, in my class, a lot of people were quite experienced pharmacists in their different countries. So it was an international course for registered pharmacists in their different countries. So first of all, you're sitting in a room of people, you're in group discussions, and people have knowledge about advanced, techniques and drugs and different things. They have such advanced experience in hospital that you're coming from a system where the pharmacist, at least the experience I had at that time, you're just sitting behind the window and you're dispensing drugs. Sometimes you're not even allowed to go into the ward, and so people seemed just really smarter than me. I felt stupid.
It always happens when you've just come in.
It felt like they were really smarter than me. So that first trimester, that's September to December, oh gosh, I'll cry, but I'll push myself. I'll show up for my lectures, I'll push myself, I'll do extra. And then for us, we had exams, we had written coursework, we also had placement. So we're going to hospital once a week in first semester. Second semester, we're going to hospital twice a week, and then by the third, they call it terms in UCL, by the third term, we're going to the hospital to do our project. So it was a lot to do, and sitting for exams was a nice experience to sit for an exam in the UK, and it was tough. But I would say that by December, that's after 3 months of the concept, 4 months, it became easier.
It
became easier, and
after 3 months into become.
I had pushed myself, I had gone the extra mile, I'd been on the wards, I'd interacted with my course mates, I interacted with pharmacists across hospitals in London that had come in to teach us, and it got better, and it was such an experience, because I think like you said, it has made me a better person, basically, because I really pushed myself. I learned so much. It opened my mind, it expanded my mind, it dealt with my mind and then expanded my mind, and it was such a nice experience. And
besides school, when you're studying from here, you have to balance other sort of aspects of your life, not just school, Things like, of course, you're away from home, you're missing home, it's cold, it's, so some of those things also take a toll on your school. So you have to learn how to balance that as well. As your school.
Homesickness is real. So missing home.
Especially December and Jan. I think they're the worst months that you can.
Yes, especially when it's really cold.
And the assignments come fast, So you find
come all at once.
You start, say, October, some people start end of September, but by like end of October, you have like 2 assignments already.
Yes, that you have to submit at the same time.
It's quite intensive because it's a short program.
Yes.
A year, so it's quite intensive, I think from the time you start to maybe around July, next year, August, it's quite intense. I think around July, that's when people start doing their dissertation. So it sort of slows down then, but then, of course, the dissertation is as heavy, but the assignments keep coming in,
And for us, because of how intense our course was and because we had the placement, they kept advising us not to take on any additional work. So I know a lot of people, when international students, they're allowed to work 20 hours a week. So for me, I didn't really need to work, and the course was even intense. Even though I had applied when I first came, I applied for some jobs just to just get the experience. I had my national insurance number, but the work was so much and I didn't really need to work, so I just didn't work. Did you work during your master's?
I worked during my master's, but I didn't work until, luckily I was on a full-time scholarship, so I didn't work until my classes were done. So I started working around June of the next year. So I came in end of September, towards the end, I think. Then I only started working the following year in June.
Because by then you'd have started rounding up. So it's
that time you're just doing your dissertation, running up the last assignment. You have some sort of free time to make some extra money,
Did you experience any culture shock coming to the UK?
At the time, to be honest, I didn't come when I was young, but I was quite young. Within an African setting, you probably get done with your bachelor's at 21, 22, So, and that's the age at which I came in here. So, you probably, first of all, it was exciting to come here for the first time, traveling for the first time. I'll tell you a funny story. When I got my visa, I had a month to travel, but I kept looking at my visa every day.
I can imagine the excitement.
But when you get here, it dawns on you. It was exciting. I got here. Thank God, my University of Commonwealth had organized the Benz for me to take me to, airport shuttle. Benz and Mercedes. First of all, the day I arrived, it was rainy.
It's okay.
Usual UK settings. So, but I think the next day, that's when it hit me, I woke up, I looked out of the window and everything is different. And I'm like, I'm going to stay here for the next 1 year, there's no one to call back home, or you call up your friends, let's go out for a drink, let's go for this. Now this is what's going to be for the next 1 year. So that's when it hit me. Then of course in the beginning you calculate all the money. You're constantly exchanging money in your head. You go for coffee.
You're always converting to your local currency.
This coffee is,
I always tell people, don't even convert to Naira. That's our own Nigerian currency. Don't even bother. Just spend your money.
So in the beginning, you're always converting money in your head, before you buy anything. But but then, and also, in addition to converting, sometimes they would just tell you £20, you're like, £20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 20. Pay £20, like 20 only. But then you notice that it's a lot of money,
Yeah.
For some time you're like, I spent £20 on a cab ride,
Yeah, you keep calculating if I was
it's a
back
lot
home,
of money,
I wouldn't spend that much at all.
So that sort of culture shock, it was sort of, So yeah, at the time, I think that was the main thing, like waking up knowing that
you're just by yourself.
You're just by yourself. You're going. That's how you're going to be for the next 1 year.
Yeah.
And that's
Charlie,
how you're
when
going.
it's cold, oh gosh, it can be so depressing. Charlie, you just come and you just
It
by
gets
yourself.
dark.
It gets dark early.
The sun takes long to come out.
Yeah.
So basically, it becomes. And for me, I was in Bournemouth, small town down south. Full of. It mainly has like retired rich people.
Oh, so almost like really quiet area.
It's quiet. It's by the sea. It's. I mean, in fact, I heard that what's his name? This famous coach who used to be coach for Tottenham, Redknapp, Harry Redknapp. Yes.
Okay.
Apparently, he stays there and used to commute all when he was still coach of Tottenham. So it has those kind of people. So it's quite more expensive than some other UK towns.
Okay.
So that as well. In London, the
London
black
is
people
easy.
you can see a lot
very diverse and multicultural.
In Bournemouth, it was a bit different.
So now, talking about what you did after your master's. So in the UK at the time when both of us did our master's, there was no post-study work visa option. And for me, for example, I wanted to go back home and apply all the knowledge and skills I had gained during my master's. So I'm guessing that was the same for you. Like, what was your plan after master's? Like, what did you want to use your degree to do? Now that you were armed with a UK degree, what was your plan after? What did you do?
See, actually, the year I came here, I think that was the last year for the post-study work.
Oh yeah,
visa.
True.
Yeah, that was the last year, and everyone who hadn't graduated then you are not eligible. So I came in when it was being phased out at the time. So I mean, at the time I just wanted to go back home, and I thought with my masters of public health, I'm going to get a job right away.
People always think there's a red carpet waiting for them when they're
UK,
so you have to hustle.
UK educated,
You have to hustle.
They're going to pay me top dollar, But I mean, the reality is different. So, because ultimately, even back home, is that there are people who have the same qualifications and they've done them well.
And they have experience sometimes, and they don't. They might not even have the MPH or the masters, but they have the experience, and their employers will favor experience.
Exactly, and some of them have probably done this masters part-time, like they're in a job and they're doing their masters. So when they are done, they already have the job anyways. So you're not going to come. You have the same qualifications anyways at the end of the day. And of course, sometimes masters back home are tailored for those contexts.
Yes.
So you find that the assignments will be around those contexts. The exams or the thesis, dissertation will be around that. So you find that they probably have more local knowledge compared to you who has done your masters here in the UK. And so it was tough, I think I returned home. So I returned in October of the following year, but I thought I should take a break. I went to the US for 3 months.
Oh wow!
So I took a break. Just have family in the US, so I took a break for a while. Then went back home the following year, around May. So I thought I'm going to just apply. See, I was even applying for program manager jobs, thinking, I have a master's, can be program manager. Of course, I had the qualification, but the experience and the reality, I didn't get any interviews, please, any short lists. So I was about to give up. Then, I got an offer for a job. Towards the end of the year, it was very little money at the time, but I'm like, you know what? Let me start somewhere and do something, and get my experience. And so I got the job in November. So I did that job for the next 3.5 years, or almost 4 years.
Okay.
And then got another opportunity to come back to the UK.
So I know you did travel around after your master's. Like, were you working in Uganda or outside Uganda?
So I worked in Uganda. I was posted in Bangladesh for about 4 months. Bangladesh, South Asia. Yeah.
How was it?
Interesting country, you know. Never in my life had I thought that I would ever go to Bangladesh, you know. So it was interesting that different culture, you know, different, you know. But of course, I noticed from my experiences that people were more hardworking there when I compared them to back home, you know. People were quite hardworking. I mean, this might be off school stuff, but you find like in Bangladesh, I'll give you a bit of context. It's a small country.
Okay.
I like comparing it to Uganda. It's just a third the size of Uganda, and Uganda is such a small country. So if it's in Nigeria or anywhere, it will be a state. So it's very small. It's such a small country, but there are about 170 to 200 million people at the time.
Wow, so it's congested.
So you can imagine 200 million people in such a small area, but then all the food they eat in Bangladesh is produced in Bangladesh. None is imported. All the food is imported, is produced from there. You find that every small household has a small garden in the backyard.
Wow.
Like for them, land is precious. Even a small space, a small yard is useful. They will put rice, something, tomatoes, something, you know. So, and people are always working, man. People are always working, you know. So, and when I compared that to back home, we have a lot of land, you know, a lot of space, a lot of, you know, but people just look at the land, probably some of them sell the land and then go and buy book. In Uganda, I call them bodas, but I think in Nigeria they call them okadas.
Yes.
Others they call them those motorcycle Ubers. So yeah, I was there for about 4 months, went back home still with the same organization, and when I went back, I thought, I won't be posted in the city, you know. I'm not going back. They posted me up country, away from the city. You know, away from the city. So, and of course you're thinking, I have my master's from the UK, you know, why am I working deep in the country? But then at the end of the day, I learned that, especially in the field of public health, you need that experience at grassroots, because that's where the beneficiaries are. You know, instead of sitting in the office, you know, you need to see firsthand how projects are run, what kind of impact, what sort of impact, not just on paper, you know. So it was quite a learning experience, you know. You need, I think, if you're going to work in the development sector, international development and public health, whether it's poverty alleviation or all these sort of projects, you know, you need to have some on-ground experience. You know, you need to go through, you know, some roads are inaccessible, some places are inaccessible. Sometimes when it rains, you know, you need to see the life the beneficiaries are living for you to appreciate for you to appreciate what the project is doing and to appreciate what your beneficiaries are going through.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. Well, for me, like, I knew definitely I was going back home, because I had this big dream to, you want to change the world.
All the time.
But I wasn't oblivious to the fact that, so I had come to this advanced healthcare system. I'd been on the wards, I'd seen the way clinical pharmacy is, and I knew what was back home. So I knew that Rome was not built in a day, and I knew what my experience was like during my internship before I then went for my master's and all of that. So yeah, I came to the UK September 2015. I left September 2016, exactly a year. And because I knew obviously I needed to go home and start looking for jobs and, you know, move on with my career. So by my first month, I applied for 50 jobs and just kept applying, dropping my CVs everywhere, making job applications. Then I started working at the hospital in November. And I just saw that, you know, you now come with all these skills, all this knowledge, and you're like, everything is still the way I left it.
Exactly.
So it was quite frustrating. And I left that. It was a private hospital. I left that one. I worked in a government hospital, see the same experience. And it was around that period I started really getting interested in doing research. From both of us, what we say is not always rosy or like, oh, because you have this foreign UK degree, they're going to create a red carpet. Nope. All the employers say, take your job, take 500,000 US dollars.
No.
You need to just
even start off salary expectations $5,000, you know. But no, that's not what.
I remember a job interview I went for. They asked how much do I want. I won't tell you how much I wrote. But I wrote a large sum of money because I was like, I have an MSc from University College London, highly ranked university. But I was like, see, let me just try my luck. They didn't offer me the job.
They don't call you back even when you reach the final stage of the interview.
In the next episode, we will talk about our decisions to do our PhDs in the UK and our experiences so far. At what point did you now decide that, okay, I want to do a PhD? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.